Hello and welcome back to the African Allure Outdoors. After such an overwhelming response yesterday about what feeders or what electronic devices do I use, I thought I better make another video quickly and get this one all out to you. So today I'm at one of my other feeding sites. You'll see over here I've got my typical feeder that I like to use, and just behind it up here I've got the pit blind. Now what I like about a pit blind is that you normally stand about waist deep within the pit blind, and when you're aiming with your bow, all your vitals are on the same plane. It just makes for better recovery, it makes for more ethical shots, and people are not having to worry about angles, whether it be up or down. It's all sort of horizontal shots, and that works very, very well. So anyway, to get to the feeders, what I've done with this one is I've just opened the flap at the bottom here that I can show you how this works. Then later on in this video, what I'm going to do with you is share the actual feeders. I'm going to do an unboxing of the units that I use, and I'm also going to do a comparison with a Chinese unit that I've got. Okay, remember the sound that you're about to hear is the sound that brings all the animals running in. Okay, so that was approximately 3 seconds of running time on that, and there is a substantial amount of food on the ground there. I'm just going to stop the video right here, and then I'm going to change the camera. So this will give you an idea of how the feeder actually hoists food. Okay, so from here we are going to move into the next part of the video, which here I have a cheap knockoff of the feeder that I like to use with my feeders. I use the Moultrie all-in-one programmable feeder. We'll get to that in a few minutes. This was considerably cheaper. Last year I bought this for 465 Rand, and these were about 200 Rand. I ordered them on Amazon. I found that these ones in South Africa last year were in the region of about 900 Rand, and you could buy them, 2 of them delivered via Amazon to your home address for the same price as what we would pay for one in this country, including courier costs and all that. Obviously we can't get them now, and the Rand dollar has made a considerable move. This is a cheap knockoff feeder from overseas. It's digital, it works on 4 AA batteries. It has a little motor and a spinning table here. There's a couple of reasons that I don't like this. One is I don't like the constricted flow of food through to the table here. The other thing is this table is very open. So what happens is if the wind blows through here, this feed just keeps falling down the whole time. And any little bit of movement and it falls out. I'm going to convert this to a fish feeder because we have fish here and we're farming with fish. And you'll see that this thing spins quite potently and will throw corn, sort of 2 or 3 meters from your feeder, depending on how high it is. Now we get on to the feeder that I use. This is the Moultrie all-in-one programmable feeder. I'm going to open this one up for you. So we're unboxing, so to speak. I'm not sponsored in any way by these guys. This is what I use. We have a battery pack here as well. These batteries work fine. I prefer to swap out with Duracell, but that's just a personal preference. If you open up the instruction manual, they normally have the instructions of all of the things that you can, all the accessories that you don't really need, but somewhere in this documentation there is just a little bit of a diagram to explain how to feed it. But if you're like me, you normally toss this out and you don't worry about it any further. Oh, that's quite nice. They put a little sticker for your vehicle in there as well. That's pretty cool. So when you get your feeder, you've got your nuts and bolts over here. Remember in South Africa that we use the metric system for nuts and bolts. So this is imperial, so you might want to swap these out for metric, which is something that I did. The feeder is pretty basic. It's got a little, obviously the funnel or the chute down to the spinning table. What I like about this spinning table is it's got edges on it, so if the wind blows, it's not blowing material out the whole time. It has a little retainer piece of cardboard here, obviously just for transport purposes. You just pull that out and then it's good to go. There is also a micro adjust Allen key set right down in there, if you can see that. And what that does is it allows you to adjust the height of this, and that will adjust your flow rate. What is also nice about the Moultrie is you can buy a solar panel and you can connect it up to a solar unit here. I haven't found it necessary. I find that my feeders run twice a day, and on 4 Duracell penlight batteries or AA batteries, these last a year within here. So if you open it up, at the bottom here you've got your feeder, the digital part of it, which is also very nice. There's a couple of really great features that I like about the feeder. We'll just put the batteries in. You see it's got these little clips just to hold the batteries in place, which I think is a pretty cool feature. And then you can just set your time. You've got your time 1, time 2, time 3, time 4. That's it. So you've got 4 timers, and you can set the time that you want it in, how long it should run for. It can run up to 20 seconds. I find that with my feeding pigs, I'm running them normally on about 3. What is quite nice is you can also just test. You can test this when your feeder is up. It says to you, get away there, and you'll see that it spins quite potently. Now this feeder will throw food two to 3 meters away from the feeder, which is quite a ways. That's handy. So you can set 4 different times that you wish to feed. I feed twice a day. I normally feed at about 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I feed again at 7 o'clock at night. And then if I'm feeding bush pigs, I'll set the timer for 7 o'clock at night and then 8 o'clock. As I said to you before in previous videos, I want to shoot my pigs early in the evening and I don't want to sit through the night. The instructions for the timer and everything is on the bottom of the lid here, so that's great. You never have to run around with the instruction manual with you. It all closes up, it's waterproof, and it's normally at the bottom of the drum. To attach it to the drum, what's quite nice is you drill a hole. This is 65 millimeters here, and then you can adjust these. Even if your holes are not 100% centered right, you're able to play with it, or the bottom of your drum. I haven't been able to find a drum in this country yet that's been big enough to accommodate the whole feeder like this. So I normally set mine at about that, which is normally within the sort of bottom of the drum. What I have found out of experience is you need to protect this from baboons. These little arms here are not very strong. And what happens is a baboon jumps up and he grabs onto the bottom of this, and then he rips this whole bottom piece off the top piece here. I have circumnavigated this by taking bolts, and I was able to strip the unit inside here. And then what I did is I put a bolt through here, and I was able to sort of attach this. But then I've protected all my feeding units from this, which I'm going to show you shortly. So this is just a weak point that I found on this, but it's not a design fault on this. It's just the situation that we have with baboons in this country. This is really a great feeder. I can't complain about it. I highly recommend them. They're light on batteries and they work very effectively. Thank you.